Celebrate good times. Come on. Welcome everyone to our 301st Sunday gathering. You heard it right. 301 weeks we have been together. I want to welcome you. I'm Sandra. If we haven't yet met, I am joined with my friends, Cheryl and Carly. I am in the United States. Our friend Cheryl is coming to us from Australia, and Carly is coming from England. So we are the good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We have a global celebration going on. Not only is it our 301st Sunday gathering, but we're celebrating because you're here today. And also, this is our last Sunday gathering of 2025. So we got a little bit of New Year's party. And even if you stay to the end, which we hope you always do, at the end of our final song together, we have a countdown and we can count down into the new year together. Each week we are here. Why? Well, it is to bring some camaraderie, some love, some empowerment, some upliftment, joy, and the reality that our loved ones who may have passed from this world still live on. So Carly and Cheryl will be doing a few things today, but they'll be sharing in our medium demonstration a bit later on. They are going to share in the address. Also, Cheryl will be opening us up in prayer, and Carly will be doing the closing prayer. I'll be doing the reading, the healing, and the bits in between. Of course, being your disc jockey for all the music. Whether it's your first Sunday gathering or you've been here since the beginning or somewhere in between, or you're watching the replay, a warm welcome to you. I don't think there's any coincidence that you are here today, and just sit back for the next 90 minutes-ish and relax and just enjoy. And we hope by the end that you feel special, that you feel loved, that you feel empowered, that you are one of a kind soul, and you know the reality that your loved ones are cheering you on from the invisible space around you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl for our opening prayer.
Hi everyone, and welcome from sunny Sydney. Nice and early here. Sorry about my croaky voice, but I'm just recovering from a bit of a cold, so all will be well though. And I'll start with the prayer, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, or if you're in a position to, close your eyes. As we gather together in stillness and gratitude, we thank you for the love that guides us, the wisdom that teaches us, and the unseen world that walks beside us. May this time together bring inspiration and healing, and a deeper understanding of the beauty that lies in transition and change. Give us the space to reflect on our lives and the ability to see what may be calling us to change, and the strength to let go of those things that no longer serve us. So we invite our loved ones in spirit to come even closer, and may their presence bring comfort and reassurance that we never truly move through this life alone, and a reminder that all souls are eternal. Great Spirit, we thank you for the love that surrounds us, especially in this time of need. And may we leave this gathering with a little bit more light than we entered in with. Amen.
Thank you, Cheryl. Beautiful words. And I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, that Cheryl and Carly have a few butterflies floating within them, nerves, excitement, whatever. So if you would join me in just sending them a whole bunch of love today for volunteering to be here. So our reading, this is our final Sunday gathering of 2025, and we're standing at the edge of a brand new year. Usually this is the time we start making lists of all the things we want to change about ourselves. We treat the new year like a heavy mountain that we have to climb. But today, our theme of changes and new year, I want to share a story about a traveler named Thomas and what he tried to pack for his journey. So here's my parable. It was New Year's Eve, excuse me, and Thomas was in his attic packing a large, very heavy trunk. He was preparing for the great voyage of the new year. He was determined that this trip would be perfect. So he was packing everything he thought he needed to fix his life. First, he packed a heavy stone called regret. He thought, I definitely need to carry this so I don't make the same mistakes again. Next, he packed a tight, uncomfortable iron suit called perfection. He thought, I will wear this every day so people will think that I have it all together. Then he packed a fly swatter so that he could swat himself with self criticism. He thought, I need this to keep me in line when I get lazy. Oh, there was a lot more he packed, and you can just imagine, can't you? This trunk became so heavy he couldn't even lift it. He sat on the floor, exhausted, dreading the journey before it even began. Suddenly, the attic door creaked open, and a beautiful angelic being stepped in, almost like a fairy godmother. She carried nothing but a small, light lantern. Thomas, she said gently, you cannot bring that trunk. The road to the new year is too narrow for such heavy things. But I need them, Thomas cried. I need to change. I need to be better. The guide shook her head. You are trying to change the outside, but you are crushing the inside. She opened the trunk and began to toss things out. Out went the heavy stone of regret. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence, she said. Out went the iron suit of perfection. You are not meant to be perfect, you silly man. You were meant to be real. Out went the swatter of self criticism. Didn't you know that you cannot heal yourself by continuously hurting yourself? She proceeded to remove all elements that represented his self defeating thoughts. The trunk was now empty. Now, said the angel, handing him three small, weightless items. Pack these instead. First, she gave him a pair of magical glasses. These are the lenses of gratitude, she said. Wear these, and you will see the miracle in every day and in every person. Next, she gave him a magical coat. This is the coat of service, she said. When you wrap this around others to keep them warm, you will find that you are never cold. Finally, she handed him a small mirror. Thomas flinched. I don't like looking in mirrors, he said, because I see all my flaws. Look again, she whispered. Thomas looked, but this wasn't a normal mirror. It didn't show his wrinkles or his mistakes. It showed a bright, glowing light inside of his chest. This is the mirror of truth, she said. It reminds you that you are a divine soul. Your only job this year is to be kind to the person you see in the reflection. Thomas took the lightweight items. He easily put them in his pocket. He left the heavy trunk behind, took a deep breath, and walked into the new year, light, free, and ready. So, what's the meaning? Of course, I know it. You and I, my friends, are all Thomas. We spend so much time trying to pack heavy expectations into our lives. We think change means being hard on ourselves. But the spiritual masters and those who have crossed over tell us a very different story. They tell us to travel light. And as you enter 2026, Leave the regrets and the criticism back in 2025. Pack the gratitude, pack the service, and most importantly, look in the mirror and be kind to the person staring back at you. That is the only resolution that matters. So, an early Happy New Year to everyone. And now we're going to go into our healing. We have a beautiful song from Xavier Rudd called Follow the Sun. And if this is your first time here or you've never sat for healing, it's an opportunity for you just to say a special prayer for all those in need of healing. I 100% believe those in the unseen world can use our human energy when we offer our service and direct it to where it's needed in the world. I know we have many people within our community, our families that need some healing, plus there are animals and there's much unrest in the world. It's a beautiful song if you just want to be present and listen to the words or watch the video. Whatever way you wish works. So I will play the song, and when the song ends, you'll hear first from Cheryl for the address, followed by Carly. So here is our song.
I hope you all enjoyed that song. And if you were watching the clip, you would know that I chose that one. But it is a reminder that a new day begins, and it is a reminder that the sun always comes out. And one of those things that is a constant in life is actually change. And maybe this year hasn't been the best for you. Maybe this year hasn't been what you've hoped for. But you're here, you got through, and you can take it day by day, breath by breath, and change. Some things we can change, and some things we can't. And we go through a lot of changes in life. A change of a job, change of relationships, loss of a loved one. Now that's a big change. And sometimes we procrastinate about change. And we can have a change in beliefs, a change in ourselves. And most of all, change is about growth. And change is always knocking on our door, whether we like it or not. And sometimes we go willingly. And if you're like me, you go kicking and screaming. Because we really are creatures of habit. As humans, we're creatures of habit. But we're here also to grow and expand. And sometimes, we're living in our comfort zone, being a bit sheltered, and it's nice to come out every now and then and do something that scares you. It makes you feel alive. And there's a wonderful quote about change by Viktor Frankl. He was an Austrian neurologist and a Holocaust survivor. And if you ever get to the chance to read one of his books, he's got a wonderful book called The Man's Search for Meaning. And it really is meaningful. And he talks about how much he went through and how he had to change and adapt. But most of all, how he had to use his mindset to survive, because it is that internal job. But his quote was, "When we can no longer change a situation, we challenge ourselves to change ourselves." And that really means, like, sometimes growth doesn't come from fighting a situation, but it comes from adjusting within, and it comes from changing our attitude. And sometimes we get attached to an outcome and we just want it this way. And we often say, what if this happens? What if this? And we usually attach a negative to the end of it. But what if it all turns out wonderful? What if something that you're thinking about doing and changing turns out even better than you think? You know those blessings in disguise when something's happened and you think, oh, that's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. I can never go on. My life will just never be the same. And then you look back and you think, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here now, doing what I'm doing, expanding and changing. And so, how are you with change? What's changed for you over this last year? Has it been easy and has it been hard? Have you had time to reflect on what you want to change? There's a lot of fear around change as well. And a lot of that is about control. A lot of that is, like I said, the fear and anxiety about the outcome, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure. And that's all around change. And we don't want to lose control. But they can just be little changes, especially going into the new year, just going for a walk, having some gratitude, just stopping and breathing, meditate, go and volunteer for someone. So change isn't all bad. And it really is that blessing in disguise, and change can be that new opportunity. And I had a big change in my life in my 20s, and I was born in Perth in Western Australia. I grew up there. I had no reason to change anything. Life was great. I was working at a bank. I'd been there for years. I had good friends. And then one of my work colleagues said she was going on a 6-week tour from London to Athens with her friends. Maybe I should come along. Me? No way. I'm not leaving my comfort zone. I'm not leaving my job, my routine. But once I reflected on it, I thought it's only 6 weeks. I can come back and maybe, just maybe, I might have a good time. So I took the leap and I said, yes, I'll come. And as it was leading up to this traveling, I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I don't really like my job. Maybe I'll quit. And then after the 6 weeks, it'll be like this big reset button and I can come back and find a new job or go back there. Who knows? Let's live on the edge. 6 weeks isn't that long. So off we went on our trip and landed in rainy old London in winter. And we did our trip from London to Athens. We went to France and Italy, and I was way out of my comfort zone. New people, new environment. This little girl from Perth in the big wide world on her own. I knew one person. So when the tour finished and it ended in Greece, so what do? Go to one of the Greek islands. So we went to Santorini, and when laying on the black beach of Santorini, one of the other girls I travelled with, she said, I'm not going home for 3 months. I'm going to travel around Europe. Do you want to come? Me? No, I'm going home after 6 weeks. But laying there, I thought, why not? After all, I did quit my job. I've got money. I've got the visa. Let's do it. 3 months. So 3 months we kept going. We went to places like Bulgaria and Austria and places I've never even imagined. And I did the whole 3 months and we ended back in London. And then it was time to go home. And I thought, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go home. So I waved her goodbye. And there I was in London. Again, this little old girl from Perth. I knew 2 people. I had barely any money left. But within a day, I had a job and I found somewhere to live. And there I stayed. I worked and I travelled and I met people when I travelled, and I was still scared, but there was this little tug in me. Have you ever had that tug where you just feel something is right even though it scares you? And then my job got a bit serious and I thought, hey, I'm here to travel and have fun. So I quit that. I was really living on the edge. So I went up to Scotland and came back, and then I got another job working for Guinness. Met some beautiful people. I worked, and when I went to Guinness in Ireland as well. And I worked and travelled. But then the day came and I was ready to come home. And when I stepped on that plane to go back to Perth, it was 4 years later. 4 years. My little 6 week holiday turned into 4 years and it changed my life drastically. Not just my life, but it changed me spiritually. I'd grown. But don't get me wrong, I still get scared of things and I still don't like change. But that's an example of that one thing that I could never be attached to that outcome because I had no idea it was going to be that big. It was going to be for that long. And that was a blessing in disguise. So maybe it gives you something to think about coming into the new year. What could you possibly change? What's calling you to change? And like I said, it doesn't have to be as big as going away for 4 years. It doesn't have to mean you wake up tomorrow and quit your job. But what are your passions? What are your loves? Surround yourself with those people that fulfill you, your passions and your dreams. And just one little change can turn into so many different opportunities. So I ask you to reflect on change. And still, like me, it's still scary, even those little changes. But it's why we're here as humans. We're here to change and grow. So thank you. Thanks, Carly.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I love that. 6 weeks and it turned into 4 years. That's amazing. I absolutely love that. It's brilliant. And I'm so grateful to have been invited to come along today. I wasn't initially in the lineup for today. And a few weeks ago, I'm going to share this with you. I was in my kitchen. I've been having a little bit of a rough day. We all have them. I'm a pretty upbeat, lively, bouncy person who finds the positive in everything. But I was having a bad day. And I'd put a movie on for the kids in the living room. I have two little ones, they're 3 and 7. And I went into the kitchen to start doing their dinner. And I was having a little, I had a little, that took that little time alone to have a little weep and a little, I'm feeling sorry for myself and asking all the questions of, oh, why do I bother? Why do I do this? It's so hard doing this. What, being a mom and trying to balance everything. And so I was having that little down moment, and then something inside of me, I just had this little flick of maybe I don't know what's going to happen next year. Maybe I don't have it all planned out. Maybe things aren't going to plan right now. But it's just one little step at a time. I just take one little change, one little moment, and just take one piece each and every day, and it'll all come together. And I had that thought, so I blew my nose, wiped my eyes, threw the tissue in the bin. And just as I did that, my phone pinged. And I thought, oh, who's this now? So I looked, and it was a voice message from the lovely Sandra. And hearing her voice always makes me smile anyway. But it was her inviting me to come and do the Sunday gathering today. And immediately I had a smile on my face, even though it is a little bit nerve-wracking and it is a little bit scary. It's it was just that little reminder that you are in people's thoughts. People are thinking of you. And funnily enough, right after I got that message from Sandra, I had another message from another friend asking me about spirit world, and obviously it's my one of my favorite subjects. So I was more than happy to message her and chat about that. And then I had another message from a friend. This was all within 15 minutes, telling me that my favorite wine was on offer at the local supermarket, and she picked me up a bottle. So it was that lovely little moment of, do you know what? Even though I was feeling down in that time, you're always in somebody else's thoughts. You're never alone. You're never truly. It feels like it sometimes, and you can be on that brink of despair. But as soon as you make that little change in that mindset, and that's the hard part, is we have to be the ones to make that change. We have to kind of have a little bit of faith in ourselves and just saying to yourself, just one little step at a time, one little change at a time, and just that little switch in mindset. And hey, it felt like the universe felt that little switch and it all just came rushing together. And I actually think, and I've been reflecting on this a lot recently, I used to think the hard part about change was choosing to make a change, was saying, okay, I'm going to change my eating habits. I'm going to change the time I get up in the morning, get up earlier and do some exercise. And actually, it's not that part, it's maintaining the change because we fall back into our old beliefs, into our old habits so easily. It's actually the harder part is just trying to keep that up. And we all know that when we do make that mistake, we do make that slip, immediately then, like Sandra's story, we start chastising ourselves. We want to get out I can't remember what you said, the fly swatter. I liked that bit of self-criticism. We want to whip that out and use it on ourselves immediately. But we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace because change is hard. It's hard to deal with, whether we choose it or not. But when we choose to make that change and when we feel that little nudge in our soul, because sometimes that little bit of restlessness, a little bit like what Cheryl said earlier when she suddenly realized, actually, I don't like my job. Actually, I do need that little change. When we feel that within ourselves, that's our soul just giving us that little nudge to get back on track, to send us in our new direction, to send us on our new adventure. And when we have the confidence and the courage to honor that and to work with that, it makes it a lot easier to deal with the changes that maybe we don't have control over, the changes that are thrust upon us, such as when a loved one passes to the spirit world. That's a change that unfortunately we don't have much control over that, really, do we? I'll always remember a couple of years ago, my dad passed to the spirit world. It was very, very sudden. It was very unexpected. My dad and I didn't always have the best relationship. He lived quite far. He lived in London, actually. So he lived quite far away and he made a lot of lifestyle choices. He wasn't the most law-abiding citizen, I think I can say. And things just weren't always 100% between us. We did still have our great times, though, as well. We still had fantastic fun together. And he was always somebody who I could count on to make me laugh. He was absolutely hilarious. And I remember the week before he passed, didn't know he was ill or anything. I thought, I'm going to give him a call. I'm going to give him a call and check how he is. I'm going to see how he's doing. And I was very busy that week and I didn't get around to it as we do. And well, as you know, on the Friday, I got the phone call saying that he had sadly been found and he passed away. And as you can imagine, there are 100 things I would change about the way things were. I would have picked up the phone a little sooner and I would have called him. I maybe would have seen if there was something I could have said or did to change who he was, to see if I could maybe, get him to take better care of himself, to be a more responsible person. He was never known for his responsibility. And I always wonder, maybe I could have changed that. Maybe I could have inspired him if I just tried a little hard. And let's face it, I could tie myself in circles looking at all the things that I could change. And my relationship with him now has changed. I still know he's around me. I know that I feel him close. I see those little signs that he's still right there for me. And in a way, I kind of talk to him more now than I did when he was in the living. So I guess we have to look at it that way. But it still means there are times when I wish I could pick up the phone and hear his voice one more time, or he had a really deep chuckle, like a I can't do it. But he had like a really deep, really distinctive voice and a really distinct little laugh, and his humor and his facial expression. Well, like me, he has quite an expressive face and he could never hide what he was thinking. And it always used to make me laugh. And obviously I would love to see that one more time. That's something I can't change. But what I know that I have got now is I've still got him around me. And I don't have to be a medium to know that. I see him in the little signs. I see when his favorite movie comes on the TV, when his favorite song comes on, when somebody mentions when somebody mentions Guinness, his favorite drink, I remember, I know that he's only close by. He's only ever a thought away. We can't change when people are going to pass the spirit, but we can change how we see it. And I know now, for all of the things that my dad and I didn't get on at times and all of those challenges, I know that I found it in me to completely 100% forgive him for everything. And I've put that thought out to him. So I know that even though I maybe didn't get that one last phone call, maybe I didn't get to physically say the things I would have wanted to say to him, I know that that message got to him. Have I forgiven myself yet? Well, that's still an ongoing journey. But like we've said today, we're all on that journey, and we don't want to carry that regret. I love that story, by the way, Sandra. We don't want to carry that regret into the new year. We need it's something that we can put down in our little box, leave it in 2025. Choose to make that change. Choose to change that mindset, and just choose to have even if we can't control how 2026 is going to go, we can choose what mindset we're going to go into that with. And hey, let's do our best after today, after this Sunday gathering, to keep that positivity and to keep those positive mindsets into 2026. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Carly, and thank you, Cheryl. And I'm 100% sure everyone could take something from your words today. And yeah, I have so much I want to say, but it's time to move into the demonstration of mediumship. You can hear so much from me on my close to 800 podcast episodes. Let's move into our demonstration. I know we have Nick and others that are here for the very first time. And if you need a little refresher course on how our medium demonstration works, I will tell you this now. We have Cheryl and then Carly will each be bringing through two people from the spirit world. And yes, when we move on to the other side, we are not balls of energy. We are still us with our personality, with our sense of humor. And so as each lady works with the spirit world, they're going to first give a description of the person who has stepped forward to work with them. We have no idea how exactly this works. Now, I know Cheryl and Carly picked the music for today and the theme, and we came together for the order. But I think those in the spirit world are really the ones that have it planned. And so they know just who's going to come forth. There will be some members of our Sunday gathering that will get readings today, but I 100% believe that the readings that come through are for all of us. So there will be times, maybe today, we don't know, but there might be a message of forgiveness, or there might be an apology, or there might be a remember this or remember that. I'd like each person listening today to think that there's something in the reading that is for me, even if it's for someone else. All right, can we do that? I hope so, because it'll just enrich the Sunday gathering and your life that much more. That being said, after Cheryl or Carly describe the spirit person that is with them, we're going to ask who understands this information. Now, we have close to 150 people with us today. Wow. We want you to be able to accept all the information that the medium has shared about this person. Okay. Now, the one thing in common is they no longer breathe air in this world, but it can be a friend, it can be a loved one, it could be somebody from the past. You never know how they're going to work. But if all of a sudden you hear all this information, you say, hey, I understand that person. We want you to press your raise hand button. So this is audience participation now on whatever device you're on. Find and press your raise hand button to see how it works. Some of you might be on an iPad or a device, a phone maybe, and you'll see three dots. When you press that, suddenly the raise hand button will appear. Why is this important, Sandra? Well, I want you to do this because sometimes there's two or more people that can understand all the information. So our medium will continue to give bits of information about the spirit person. And if you say, oh, that's no longer me, you'll notice that raise hand button now says lower hand. So this is audience participation. Everybody press that lower hand button. Ideally, we'll get to the right person and we'll get to the right person quickly, but with technology, things happen. So we'll all just do the best we can together. If you're the person with your hand raised, last person with your hand raised, I press a button on my side and you're going to get this pop up on your screen. It'll say host would like you to unmute. You don't see an unmute button yet, only if I send you that link, and then you can press the button. We don't need to see you, so your camera will stay off, but we love to hear your voice. That being said, whether you work with a medium on our Sunday gathering or you ever get a medium reading from this point forward in your life, let the medium do the work. Let them tell you about your loved one. Let them bring through evidence. All we need from you is yes, no, or I don't know. In the world today, we are trying to raise the level of mediumship, and so often mediums are asking, I got an M name. It's a woman. Who am I talking about? Mom, right? No, that doesn't fly around here. So let them do the work. If something isn't a match, don't feel bad that you have to say no. Just be honest, okay? Carrie and Cheryl, Carly and Cheryl both have been longtime students in our mediumship training with Carrie and Phil. And they teach that no simply means new opportunity. So the best thing to remember is just to be honest. For the rest of us listening in, again, pull that information to you. Pay attention just how close the loved ones are, that they're witnessing things daily in our lives. And if the message means something to you, pull that forward. Because even though a handful of people only are coming through on our Sunday gathering, doesn't mean they're not all with us right now. Sure, they continue to learn and grow and explore on the other side, but they are only a heartbeat or a breath away. They can multitask. They can easily pop in and say, oh, what's Dana doing right now? Things like that. So we like to play a feel-good piece of music before we have our medium demonstration. Today is no different. We have the song Good Feeling by Florida. You know it. I know you know it. And if you want to just imagine your loved ones with you, imagination really is the key to connection. And then we'll be back with Cheryl for the first part of the demonstration. So let me play the song. Well, hopefully, if you didn't have a good feeling, you have one now. And that was fireworks from 1 year ago, London New Year's Eve celebration. All right, Cheryl, my friend, if you would like to unmute yourself and you're up. Welcome back, Cheryl.
Hey, thank you. Let's see who we have here to join us from the spirit world today. So I feel I have Mum here, and I know that Mum would have played the piano, and she would have loved playing the piano and also singing. Mum brings me the joy of singing and the family gathering around the piano as well. And I also feel you would have sister in the spirit world with Mum as well. So we've got Mum in the spirit world who loved to play the piano, very joyful, loved to sing as well. And I do feel you also would have sister in the spirit world.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, friends, if you understand that information, please press your raise hand button for us. All right. We have two, actually.
Okay.
Three. Wait a minute now. We have three.
Okay. Now all three can take 100% of that, where we have sister in the spirit world as well. I will just also say about singing around the piano, you would remember singing Christmas carols as well. Mum had, I know we all love Christmas, but Mum had a joy of Christmas. Can we all still take that?
We have two. We have Jeanette and Nick that can take all the information.
Jeanette and Nick. Could I just please, can we talk to Jeanette? Because I felt like I was reaching out to my daughter here.
We can. And Nick, you just stay right where
And
you
Nick,
are.
if you can just, just listen in.
Nick could be short for Nicole also. We don't
Oh,
know.
yes, true. Sorry.
Actually, if you want to hear both of their voices, we can.
Yes, that would be good. Bring them both in.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi.
Hi, Jeanette. So you can take everything that I've said
Yes.
and you can understand the joy of Mum, especially around Christmas time as well.
Yeah, well, I was a toddler at the time before she died, but I do remember her playing the piano and I remember Christmas. And my
And you
sister is
remember,
in the sister is in the spirit world.
and your sister is in the
Just
spirit
recently.
world.
Just recently.
I just recent. Okay. Yep. So, Nick, can I just hear your voice there
Hi, so my name is Nick, but I have my mother here, whose mother has passed, as well as her sister. Hi, mom.
Right, okay.
You can say hi, mom.
And
Sister.
your mum, she can understand the love of the piano.
Yeah,
Yes, with the
organ.
Christmas and all of that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Janet, I'm just going to work with Nick's mum here a little bit. Because I was feeling that who I wanted to talk to actually helped care for mum as she got older. So, Nick, sorry, what was your mum's name?
She's right here, mom.
Elizabeth.
Beth?
Sorry?
Beth, yes.
Beth.
Beth. Oh, Beth. So, Jeanette, just hang on there for a minute. So, Beth, would you understand caring for your mum before she passed?
Pardon me?
Would you understand caring for your mum had an illness before she passed?
Yes.
And you would have had a hand in looking after her?
Yes.
Yes, and you've got sister in the spirit world as well.
Her sister.
Oh, her sister. Oh,
Oh, yeah, my sister too. Forgive me.
okay, because I really did feel that it's your sister
Marion.
as well. And I will just add, there feels like there's a lot of females in the spirit world as well, because I was even going to say in my opening statement that you would also have auntie in the spirit world as well.
Oh, well. Also, all of her sisters have passed as well,
Oh,
besides one.
yes,
My
okay,
mom,
so that feels right. That makes sense because I feel this gathering of the women in the spirit world. And I know that we all would have sung around the piano, though. It feels like we were all gathered around the piano.
my mom said she's a little hard of hearing. She's older. So my mom said that her mother played the organ. Is it specifically to piano? Is what she just asked.
Right. Well, I know I just see the keys here, so I'll take the organ, but you would also understand the singing, though. That feels like there was a singing with it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, and I know that with her illness as well, it feels like mum never complained as well. She kept her feelings to herself.
Yes.
And I know with mum here, she was a very strong character in life.
Yes.
And even though I say she's strong, I know she's a very kind lady as well,
Yes.
where she would have given to a lot of people, especially to the children. It's like I love being a mum.
Yes.
And very, very well cared for. And I know that your father's also in the spirit world, because I can feel dad, but he seems a bit quieter. Can you understand dad being a bit, would take a step back?
Yes, he was.
And I just need you to know that he is there, but it is like the women in your family are taking over here.
Okay.
And I feel that mum, you would know with her illness that she did have trouble walking before she went to the spirit world.
Yes.
And I also know here she talks about having trouble walking because I know when she was fit and well, she would have liked to walk.
Yes. Around the house.
And I know here that she would have liked to have walked and also gone like hiking or just gone on, where in the like the where there's trees and nature.
She loved her garden.
She loved her garden. Do you understand the walking though?
Yes.
You do. You understand the walking, and you would have also walked with her at times as well.
Yes.
Because she talks about having these loving moments about these long chats together, you and her.
I don't recall that one.
You don't recall that. Would you know though that she would like a long chat? She would like she was a good talker.
Oh, yes.
And I know here that she would have been on the phone to her friends and been chatting for hours on the phone.
Family.
Yeah. So she'd be, and with this family, the reason she'd be chatting on the phone with them is because it feels like there's a geographical distance between her and some of the family as well.
Yes.
And that would be called for the phone calls as well. I know that your mum here, it feels also that mum, I know she talks about Christmas and the love of Christmas, but we would have also had or still have some of her Christmas decorations.
Yes.
You do. And I also know here that it feels like you would still have photos of mum around or a photo of mum.
Yes, I do.
And there's also photos of you and your sisters.
Yes, there
And
is.
and this would have been mum that also sewed as well.
Yes.
And I feel here with her sewing, she feels like, and I could be going back a bit, but it does feel like she was very well, she could sew very well, that she would make clothes.
She would darn clothes when they tore. Yes.
Right, okay, so she would fix clothes and things like that.
Yes.
I feel she's very handy with the needle and thread,
Yes.
if we
And
can put it that way as well. Do you remember your mum is quite fussy about her hair as well?
oh, yes.
Because it feels like she turns up today, she's saying, I've got my hair done, especially for today.
Yes.
And I feel that also there must be memories of us fixing her hair when she was unable to do so.
Yes.
And she brings me to you about you like to have your hair done as well nicely.
Somewhat. When I was younger.
Somewhat, okay.
When I was younger.
When you were younger. All right. Would you understand though that she would have commented on people's hair?
Yes.
And because I feel she's talking about your hair in this situation as well. And know that your mum is there with your sisters and your auntie as well, and dad's there as well, although dad feels a bit overrun by the women in his family.
That's
Being talk,
understood.
he's being talked over is how it feels.
That is understood.
And I also know here that mum is also bringing some healing to you in your life right now.
Mm,
And
that's
I also feel because she brought up the walking, so it feels also that is directed at you, where you've been asked to move more or to walk more.
yes. Yes. Understood. My
It's
son
like
always, yes.
so
She's
your
coming
son, it's
in.
like we want to get you outside, and I know your mum talked about the nature and things like that. So um, I feel that they're pushing you to go outside, to get out in nature, and to move. And not that you have to go for a run or anything, but just to sort of get some fresh air, or even just to sit outside as well.
Okay.
Because it feels like your mum did have a special spot outside where she would have loved to have sat.
When I was younger, yes, she did.
You have memories of her sitting outside. Well, I want you to take your mum's love, and I know there's a big Merry Christmas in here because I know that it was quite a big thing in her life of having all the family together as well. So I'll leave your mum and all your family in spirit with you. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Beth.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. What a lovely mum having her hair done. Um, hmm. Excuse my Batman cup.
I love it.
Bit of fun there. Okay, so so I know I've got a younger man here. I don't mean young. When I say young, I probably mean like above 40. What's young? But I know that this man got in a bit of trouble in his life, and he gives me the sense of when he passed, he was trying to turn his life around. And when I say that he got in a bit of trouble in his life, I know that he would have spent a bit of time in jail. There's this in and out of jail, and hanging around the wrong people. I'm not too sure about the relationship just yet. There is a bit of a brotherly feeling, but this could be a good friend. So we've got a man in spirit. I know that he would get in trouble with the law. I know that he went to jail probably more than once. Um, and before he passed, he was trying to turn his life around.
You can
Could we?
understand that information, raise your hand. Well, we have Nick hand raised as well, Kim, Jeanette, and Cynthia. Okay, we have four.
Yeah, okay. And I'll just go a bit further then and see if we can narrow this down. I know where he talks about hanging around the wrong people. There also is the feeling that he would have stolen cars as well. There's this real need for speed with him. So there would have been stolen cars, where he would have gone to jail for that as well, and just stealing in general. Does that narrow it down at
Let's
all?
see. All right, let me just ask Cynthia, Jeanette, Kim, and Nick and Beth, if your person did not steal cars, lower your hand, please.
And I don't
Wow,
want to make I don't want to make
yeah, yeah.
light of him
No,
stealing
of course not.
cars, but he feels it feels to him it was fun, and that's why it feels that he actually sort of enjoyed doing it at the time. And where I know that he would steal cars, it's they would strip the cars as well and sell the parts.
Okay, that's new information. If you can understand all of that, keep your hand raised. If not, lower your hand. Jeanette, Cynthia, and Stacy.
And I know with him he talks about drug use or misuse of alcohol and drugs as well. And you would also remember that he had a tattoo on his arm. It feels more like his forearm. There would be a tattoo. So does that narrow it down for anyone?
Okay, now we have a lot of people putting their hands up. You will need to take every bit of information. Okay, is for stealing cars, stripping them down, having that tattoo, the drugs, the alcohol. So we have five people with their hands raised. What I'm
Yes.
going to do, I'm going to lower your hands, everyone, because sometimes people accidentally hit the button while they're walking. If you can understand 100% of that information, please raise your hand again.
Okay, we've still got a couple. Could
Yep.
anyone take this as brother?
Okay. Lower your hand if this is not your brother. Stacy, Jeanette, and Cynthia, this is all your brother.
And I know here with your brother that there would have been a lot of reaching out to him to try and help him. And there would have been moments in your life where you lost touch with him, where there wasn't any communication.
Thank you. Well, we have three hands up. Would you like to hear voices? Would that
Yes,
help?
I'll hear voices.
Okay.
Um,
So we can go to Stacy first. You are unmuted. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Stacey.
Hi. I was not sure at first until you started talking about the stealing cars and parting them out. Yes.
Yep.
I
And you
understand
can
all of it.
you can understand this as brother.
Yes.
Yep, it's just okay. I'll just check with Jeanette.
Sure.
Jeanette, can you understand everything?
Yes.
And as brother.
Yes.
Yep. And Cynthia, we've got three here. Cynthia, you can understand everything as well?
Yes. Yes, a
Okay.
brother.
As a brother. And I also just want to check. I feel a bit drawn. I'm just going to work with Stacey for a minute because I feel quite drawn to Stacey. If Cynthia and Jeanette can just hang on a minute. Stacey, and you do understand the tattoo.
Oh, yes.
And you do, like he had more than one, but I do feel there's definitely like a tattoo on his forearm.
Correct. Yes.
And you can understand about him turning the want to turn his life around.
Yes.
And I feel with his passing was very quick as well.
Yes, it was.
There's an unexpectedness with his passing.
Exactly. Yes.
And you would know that, as in his words, that as rough as he was quite sensitive.
Yes. Yes.
And he would have had a lot of trouble at school as well.
Yes.
And it even feels like he was in and out of school.
That's correct.
Well, like I would have maybe even got suspended, or I would just show up when I wanted.
Exactly.
And this is where he falls into this wrong crowd.
Mhm.
And I also feel with brother, though, I know he gives me the sense that the family being very patient with him.
Very, yes.
And mum and dad were very open, always had their door open for him.
Yes.
And I know that he brings this acknowledgement of, I'm sorry
Oh, yeah.
for not listening.
Yeah.
And also this acknowledgement of knowing the family reached out to him.
Yes.
And I know a lot of these times that he ignored these reaching out.
He did. Yes.
And there would have even been where he didn't return phone calls.
Correct.
And he would go missing in action.
Yes.
And I know that also that his friend groups would change over time,
Yes.
but it also feels that they were always had that influence of this bad boys.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of them were actually in jail.
Yep.
And it and because I know that he would have went to jail or prison on quite a few occasions.
He did. Yes.
And there's this real and don't feel he's like this now in the spirit world because it is the evidence, but he feels helpless in life.
Oh, I did not know
And
that.
it wasn't and I feel that this is why he's explaining that he turned to substances because of this helplessness, and it was his friends, as bad as they were, that made him feel better.
That understand. Yes.
And he wants you to understand that there was nothing more that you could do for him. And he must have also tried to give up substances in his life as well.
He did. Yes.
And I feel this sort of alcoholic anonymous or, to do with the drugs because I'm on the straight and narrow sometimes.
Mhm.
And so it wasn't through trying, but it just feels like his friends would keep coming to knock at the door.
True. Yes.
Would you remember a letter that either you wrote to him or the family wrote to him?
It's not sounding familiar right now. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just trying to get a little bit more about that. I know you're not understanding that, but there feels like there was a note. I feel that he's talking about a note left behind or
Hmm.
a note that he didn't take notice of. If you don't understand that with your brother, is there someone else in the spirit world that you would still have a letter
Oh, yes.
from? Or,
Yes.
because then I might have swapped then because they've been very persistent about this letter that you still have.
Yes.
And you would have read this letter on more than one occasion as well.
I did. Yes.
And I know here that it brings back a lot of memories and a lot of love.
Yes.
And it's very neat handwriting.
Surprisingly, yes.
And to be honest, I don't even know who I've got here talking about this, but I just want you to know that they're looking and watching over you, knowing
Mhm.
that you must talk to them quite often as well.
Yes, that would be my father.
And he would have been a very deep thinker as well.
Yes, he was. I'm sorry, I
And
said yes. Oh, okay, I wasn't sure
yes,
if you
oh
heard me.
sorry, I was just saying what else because he's very deep and very knowledgeable dad.
Yes, very.
So I need you to know, and they want you to know that they are together in the spirit world. And it feels like your brother is actually listening to your dad for once.
That's surprising.
And and I feel that your brother's talking about a lot of the water under the bridge, and he
Mm,
doesn't want you to carry any burdens of his passing or his life.
thank you.
And that's where I feel that their message to you is that they don't want you to carry any burdens about anything in your life, because there's this thread of joy that wants to come and meet you.
Oh, I would welcome that.
So let's hope, or let's not hope, let's know that 2026, Stacey, is your year of joy.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And that comes from your loved ones in the spirit world. So thank you for that, Stacey. I'm
Thank you.
glad I could do that for you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And before we get to Carly, just a reminder that sometimes our loved ones work together. Our loved ones are all here. They're just speaking sometimes on behalf of others. So they're here with us. Okay, let's go over to our friend Carly. And thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I always have in my mind the image of when Sandra said there of our loved ones are there. You know, when you watch a football match and the camera kind of goes from the main feature and it scans the crowd and you see, oh, there's like dancing in the that's always the image I get in my head when I think of this, when I can sort of take some of it for people that I know. I think, oh, that's probably them, like,
It's
time.
perfect.
You have a great time. I always get that image and it makes me smile and I enjoy it. So that's always a good one. Now I'm hoping I've not got the same person, because I know I've got a gentleman who's got a tattoo as well. But he feels very different. Now I know this gentleman, I do feel like he did like to live life on the edge. He did have a little bit of a daring streak in him. And I do actually feel like he would have done something like base jumping or skydiving. Feel more base jumping with this gentleman. But I know he's got the tattoo. I know he's got very nice muscular arms. And this is an accidental passing. It feels like it's a car accident that takes this gentleman to the spirit world. I know he's not a great age when he passes. Yeah, I don't want to put him too old. So can we throw that out there, please? Anybody understand? I'm not sure on relationship yet. Gentleman who has a tattoo on his very nice muscular arms. I do feel there was a car crash, and I know he was a real daredevil. I know
Thank you,
there's a bit of
Carly.
daredevil in him.
If you can understand that information, press your raise hand button. We have Tammy with her hand raised. Tammy, if you could press the unmute button. Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
Hi, Tammy. So you can understand who this gentleman is.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. If I can work with you then. Now, I know he loved to make the most of every opportunity in his life,
Oh yeah.
and especially if there's a little bit of a danger, I want to say. He lives
Oh
life
yeah.
on the edge.
Yes, he did.
And I do feel as well that I actually felt base jumping and skydiving. He would have done both.
I don't know if he. No, I don't know.
Not sure if it was both. I know that I've got this jumping off things though. You can understand that of like,
Oh yeah.
of,
He would jump
and
off.
he
He would
loves
jump
it
off
as
cliff.
well.
He would jump
I
off
can
a roof.
feel just stick to yes and no if that's okay, Tammy. If
Okay.
that's or
Okay.
not sure if it's not making sense. Thank you. Don't give me too much. Let's work with him. I know, but I know he traveled as well. It does feel like he loved to travel.
Yes.
I know I've got and I actually feel like you still have a lot of photos of him from his travels.
Yeah. A lot of photos.
Okay. I feel like this is your son.
Yes.
Right, okay. I just felt it then. I suddenly felt like, oh, it's my, and he knows that you've still got all of these photos put out. There's a whole album of his travels as well. Like specifically, it feels like of him in just different places.
No.
No, but you do have a lot of photos of him though.
Yes.
Okay. But I know as well, I have to say he is quite a handsome chap, your son.
Yes. Yes, he is very.
And I know I'm really, because I was admiring that. I know he takes care of himself, but also it's this great big smile that he has. He has these this brilliant big smile on his face.
Yes.
And I know that this is the smile that he would have worn to everything. He really gave everything the best go that he could if he was going to do something.
Yeah.
I know that there's no holding back with him. Now with his passing as well, I felt it was a car accident that takes him to spirit.
Yeah, that was initial. That's how it's, yeah, it was a
Okay.
long, but yeah,
And I do feel like he was driving. He was the driver of this car.
yes.
Okay. But I know he's got this way of living on it, but I know he's taking some responsibility for it. I know I know it's not entirely his fault. But he is the sort of person who he just owns up to things. If he is at fault, he's immediately like, "Hey, yep, it was me." I know that's
Yeah.
his personality. Like I say, he's taking responsibility for what happened, but there's also a sense of I don't think he was fully responsible, if that makes sense.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, with the
Makes
hospital.
sense.
Um,
There's a little bit of it just feels like it was a little bit mixed, but I know he's like, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like it was entirely his fault that the accident happened. Um, I do feel like it was like a bit of loss of control though. I'm not quite in control.
yes.
Okay, because I'm just getting that little sense there with him as well. Okay. But I know as well, I know he did all of these amazing things, but he must have had like a scar somewhere on his arm as well from an accident that he had. This isn't the car accident. It feels like there's a little bit of a scar somewhere.
Hand.
Oh, is it hand? Right. Okay. I was going to say, I know there's like a little bit of a scar from something that happened. Um, but it's really funny as I'm working on, I know the theme is changed today. There's not a thing he would have changed about his life and how he lived his life. Um, and there's such a sense of bravery with him as well. He was a very brave person,
Yes, it was.
and it's not just for the daredevil side of him. There's kind of I want to call it an emotional braveness. Let me just phrase that a little bit better for you there, though, Tammy. He's got so much love for you. I know that there's this sense that it's if you're upset, he's right there giving you like one of his great big hugs. He'd always
Yeah.
be there to try and give you a hug, and he'd try and put your need for upliftment or your need for whatever you need, he would always try and put that first.
Yes.
And there's not many men like that out there, is there? But I know that he is one of them, and I know he's just got that love for you of just wanting to just give you a great big hug and a big smile as well. That smile just
Yeah,
lights
his
the
smile.
room. I can't keep looking at that great big smile as well. I know as well. I just want to leave you with. He keeps showing me this photo really specifically of him at the top of a mountain that he climbed. That makes sense. Or like a big. It must be like a really big hill. There's all this scenery behind him. He's very high up.
Um, I'd have to look. There's so many.
Look, okay, but there were times where he would have gone like mountain climbing or hill climbing as well, like hiking.
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. Because he's just showing me at the top of this mountain and this great big smile. Let me just, okay. What I'm going to leave you with is that sense of, I know, okay. The feeling I want to leave you with there is I know like it feels like there's mountains to climb there, but I know he's got this huge smile on his face. So I know that there's this encouragement for you that whatever you're facing at the moment, however you're getting through this grief, whatever you're having to deal with going into 2026, he's doing it with a big smile on his face, and I know he wants to encourage you to do the same. He's right there with you.
Okay.
Okay, and any challenges that are coming up as well. And I know he's just making me feel like there's mountains to climb, but
Yes. Going. Yes.
you can get there. and know that he is right by your side and he's giving you those big hugs and those big smiles, just encouraging you on, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Tammy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Right, now I think I've got another gentleman with me. Give me 1 second. I just need some water. We've got the fun water bottles today. I don't know if you can see my one. Hey.
I have nothing fun, just the
You
personality.
have
Back to
yourself,
you.
Sandra. That's all the fun we need. That's all the fun we need. Okay, as I begin to work with the spirit world again, now I feel like I've got a gentleman here who would have been in the Air Force. Do feel like I'm more stateside. I don't feel it's the British Air Force. I do feel like it's America in the Air Force. And I do know that there's times where he's away from the family, and I do feel like there were Christmases where he would have been away in service. I know he's just not home all the time for Christmas. It's one of those military families where he is away. I do feel like this is dad, but I don't feel like dad is the only one in the family who is military. I do feel like granddad is military as well, but I feel like this is dad. And I want to say specifically Air Force. And I know there's Christmases where dad can't be there. Can I put that out to our
Yes.
lovely congregation?
Who can understand this information? Press your raise hand button, please. No hands up, but I can tell you my dad was in the Air Force early on, but his father did not work in the
Okay.
services. But I just
Let
want
me
to
just,
put that out
okay.
there.
Well, bear that in mind. I'm okay to change it to, I did feel dad. Okay.
Rosemary has her hand raised.
The lovely Rosemary.
Yeah. Rosemary, are you
Okay.
okay to go on camera, or you want to just type in the
Either way,
chat
we can
box?
do it either way. You can either do chat box or you can do come on camera if you'd like. It's always lovely to see Rosemary.
Type. She says type.
It's
Okay.
okay. Sandra, are you okay to read out yes or no for me?
Yes,
Is that
I
okay?
will.
So I
Yep.
don't have to try and read and can't multitask. And Rosemary, just type YN or DK for don't know if that's all okay for you, and we'll work this way. So, Rosemary, you'd understand that your dad was in the Air Force for a good bit of time.
Yes.
Okay. And you also remember as well, Rosemary, that there are times where dad wasn't home for Christmas. Dad was away.
Yes.
Okay. But I know as well your dad has got this big warm glow about him. He's such a warm, loving person.
No.
No, okay. But I do feel like when he comes home, I can feel all this joy with him. So it feels like there's big hugs and there's big affection.
No.
No. Sandra, I might have to work with you if you understand that of dad being really when he comes home for after Christmas.
Yes.
You can understand that. Rosemary, I think I might be with Sandra. I'm very sorry. Thank you for putting your hand up though. It's always lovely to know that Rosemary's online with us. Sandra, is that okay if I work with you? Could you be all
It,
right with
it
that?
it definitely is. I always ask my loved ones to be with other people, but again, everyone listen in.
Everybody
He's a
listen in,
representative
exactly.
of everyone in the
Everybody
crowd.
But I know when your dad, because your dad has this great warm glow about him when he comes through the door. There's like big hugs and there's bringing everything together.
Yes.
But I know that even when dad is away, I can just feel that mom steps up in every single way to make sure that everything still is just amazing at home.
Yes.
And I know that your dad and your mom always had a really wonderful I know all relationships have their ups and downs, but I do feel like your mom and dad always had a really good relationship.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know though there's a trust there though. It's like dad knows that mum will keep the household running when he is
Yes.
not there. Dad
Yes.
knows that he can rely on mum to be everything that you need her to be when he is not there.
Yes.
And I know as well with dad, I know you said it was on the early years that he was in the Air Force. It does feel like there's many years of service, though. If it's not
Yes.
the Air Force, there is still years of service. Okay, because I know I'm thinking, feeling like it's a big, long time. Um, but I do feel like your dad did win some sort of award or medal.
Yes.
Okay, and I feel like you would still have one or two of those medals as well.
Yes.
Okay, I know as well. Sandra, I feel like your dad sometimes would like to sing.
I'd
No, I'm
say,
not saying well. I'm not saying he
yeah,
sings well, but he does have a little bit when he's in a good mood. There's a little song,
just a little,
sing, just a little bit of a
not
humming or a
much.
singing, because I
Yeah.
just feel a little bit of like music there with him. Um, I could use that a different way. I feel as though your dad, the name Chris or Christopher makes sense with your dad.
No.
No, Christopher, because I know what
It's
dad's showing me, and it's that song, Driving Home for Christmas.
everyone else keep listening in
I
because
know, keep
somebody
listening in.
else this might resonate with.
Okay. Let me just check back in with that though. I know our dad's do you know another gentleman in the spirit world who sang, who had quite a good voice?
Now I'm on the spot.
It's always the worst bit, isn't it?
Maybe
I feel like he would have sang and played guitar.
it's not coming to me, Carly.
Is it not? Okay. Can I just check back in with Rosemary? If she's still there. Let's see if Rosemary can raise her hand again if she's still there and see if she can just take this. She's not. Just seeing, because I've definitely got dad who's in the Air Force, and I've definitely got another gentleman. It's not dad who likes to sing.
She says perhaps.
Okay. So if I can work with you again, just with the YNDK again, just for a minute.
Sure, she says.
Okay, thank you. Um, you know a gentleman in spirit world who would have played the guitar.
Yes.
Okay. And I need to check as well. The name of Christopher would Chris or Christopher would match up there as well.
No.
No. I've got okay, this gentleman who played guitar, we're going a little bit further with this. I feel like you'd have a memory of hearing him play like a Christmas song as well at one time. I feel like he would have sang a little Christmas song.
Rosemary, yes or no? No.
I can't remember that one. That was a very specific one. But I do feel like he would have wrote his own songs a little bit though at times. He had a few like of his own
No.
messing with lyrics or something. I feel like he's playing with the lyrics. Okay. Oh, the gentleman with the guitar. There's another man here who would have sang songs to you, but he would have changed the lyrics to be about you, or like, because I can feel somebody messing around with me now. And he would have like
Yes.
changed the lyrics to make songs about you, but like kind of taking in a lovely way. Sometimes they would be quite romantic and sweet,
Yes.
but sometimes I feel like they're a little bit funny as well. Like he can make the lyrics really, really funny.
Yes.
I can feel, but I know he's a bit of a wind-up merchant as well. He likes to tease people, he likes to have fun with people.
Yes.
I could feel him winding me up a little bit then. I know he was having a little bit of fun and enjoying kind of stirring it up. But I know he would kind of very, in a nice way, make fun of you sometimes as well.
Yes.
Because I know one of the things he would have always encouraged you to do was to kind of find the humor and be able to laugh at yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know he's encouraging you to do that a little bit at the moment. I just know that there's that little bit of needing to kind of have that humor and be able to. He's a very positive person as well. I know there's this sense of kind of just throwing my hands up and being like, we just have to let it happen. I know he would just kind of roll with the punches.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know that that's what he wants you to bring into 2026 as well. I know there's this sense of I want to be able to just bring in that humor and just be able to bring whatever comes up and whatever opportunities come your way. Okay. I'm going to leave his love with you. I'm just going to say as well with your, I know I do, obviously I have worked with you before. I don't know if I've worked with your dad before because I know he's still here. So just before we wind up, your dad, your dad does, he loves you a lot. I know he's not shown it, but I know there is so much love there that I'm feeling right now from him. I know as well, your dad was kind of somebody who didn't really show, what would be the word? Empathy. He didn't really show sympathy to people if they were struggling. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause he's just not good at showing this. But I know where now when he sees you overcoming everything that you overcome, all of the challenges that you face, all the amazing things you've done, I know he's incredibly proud of you. I know he didn't really get to show it that much when he was here, but I have to leave that pride with you. Of you, yeah, pride of you. And thank you, Rosemary. Thank you for letting me work with your loved ones.
Oh, she says, thanks so much. Carly,
Very
thank you
welcome.
so much. We got there in the end. And Cheryl, thank you to you as well. A few announcements that I have for you wonderful people. This time of year, or actually any time of year, can bring a lot of grief with it. So tomorrow at this exact time, we'll begin a free 90-minute grief cafe with our friends. You recently met them, Kath and Mitch Shirley. They're both mediums, but they are also advanced grief recovery specialists. So it's called the Grief Cafe. It's just 90 minutes, not recorded, to be with a good group of people that care. And they have so many good resources and tools to be used. And they're just really good people. So it happens once a month and it's happening tomorrow. If you go to wedon'tdie.com and you click on the store page, you'll see the picture. You click on that and you can register, and then you'll get a Zoom link that will be sent to you. Absolutely free. The next one's not until January 22nd. So you have that as a resource. And then also, if you haven't read my book yet and you want a free copy, chapter 10 is about surviving grief. And I think it's just so important to know what's in our control. And there's so much of the grieving process that is out of our control. And at the bottom of the page at wedon'tdie.com, just enter your name and your email address, and you'll get an email with all kinds of good things, including a copy of my book. One of the best ways to know our loved ones are around is to, yes, you can go to a medium, but also you can take a class in it. You don't ever have to be a medium, but you can learn how your divine soul receives information from the spirit world. So our friends Carrie and Phil are starting their 4-week class. It's called The Gentle Path to Spirit. It will begin the 5th of January. And there's also some other things added to it. You get a practice class on another date, should you choose to take part of it. Also sitting in the power hour and more. So that is there for resource. Towards the end of the month on the 19th, Scott Milligan and myself will be back for what's called Trance in the Altered States. This will be a 6-week class. We don't work in breakout rooms doing readings or anything. It's just a kind of a meditative kind of class where you quiet the mind and you blend with the love from the unseen world, not just your loved ones, but your guides that are working with you as well. Carrie and Phil are back with us next Sunday. It'd be nice to see them in the new year. They have a brand new film, or we've launched a brand new film. It's called Evidence of the Afterlife, Saving Evidential Mediumship. It follows the trail of Carrie and Phil around the world teaching mediumship, but it also talks about the importance of good medium readings, how to be a good sitter, and so much more. Currently, it is playing on Apple TV. If you want to link to that, that's also at the main page of wedon'tdie.com. Many of you have come to our Sunday gathering because you might have heard me on a podcast or two. I have Shades of the Afterlife and We Don't Die Radio. You can find them both at the main page at wedon'tdie.com. Total combined episodes is 799. So this time when we're together next week, I will be at 801 with some new episodes. They're all designed first and foremost knowing that we come to this conversation because we have a loss of a loved one and it hurts, but they're great stories of near-death experiences, deathbed visitations, miracles, many good things. So that's a reference for you and a resource also. I'd like to make a shout out to the friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible. Those are you kind men and women who have donated. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, really. It gets very expensive for the website and the Zoom accounts and all that stuff. And you guys have made this Sunday gathering possible for the world and for it being on YouTube and out there forever. So thank you. Really, thank you. If you ever wish to donate or you wish to register for next week's Sunday gathering or watch past Sunday gatherings at wedon'tdie.com, you can just click on the free Sunday gathering page. And the last thing I want to say before I turn it over to Carly, besides Happy New Year, is that it's so easy for us to make these crazy resolutions. Like, this is the year I'm going to do whatever it is I'm going to do. And then you get 2 weeks into it and you give it up. And then you beat yourself up. Of course, you can remember the reading, but I also want you to really think about throwing away those resolutions. Certainly do all those things, but don't do it because it's a new year. Do it just because for you, but to think, how can I make a difference with others? How can I love other people, be forgiving, love myself, look at that person in the mirror? I really do think that's the best resolution going. Left to our own devices, friends, we have a lot of negative things that we tell ourselves. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not thin enough. We're not whatever enough, right? And we carry this through life. But I guarantee you, if you ask someone who loves you dearly what they think of you, it's going to be, oh, they're so much fun. They're so generous. I love being with them. I love traveling with them. I love this about them. I love that about them. I want you to try to see you through the eyes of somebody who loves you and not to be so hard on yourself. Be open to change. I love Cheryl's story of courageously setting out for 6 weeks and coming back 4 years later. But whatever it is, there is so much on the outside of our comfort zone. And the best memories we can create is when we do something new, especially with someone we care about. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carly for our closing prayer.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Sandra. And thank you, Cheryl. It's been lovely to spend this time in between Christmas and New Year with you ladies, and obviously with everybody watching at home as well. So I'm going to lead us now into that closing prayer. Get yourselves comfortable, close your eyes, and let's close today in prayer. Spirit, we thank you for bringing us all here together today to allow our loved ones to speak, to dance alongside us, knowing that they're there all the time, but knowing that when we sit down, we can make those times within ourselves. We can come to the Sunday gathering, and we can also sit in the quiet and know that they sit there alongside us, supporting us and seeing our struggles and helping us through them in whatever way they can. Spirit, we hope to bring through the spirit and the joy of Christmas that we've experienced and take that into the new year, to find those things that we celebrate, to find lots of things to celebrate throughout the year, be they big, be they small. And thank you. Amen.
Thank you so much, Carly. And thank you, Cheryl and everyone. As we go to our closing song, Katy Perry, Little Fireworks. with that, I found two short videos. There was a drone firework competition. Didn't know there was such a thing that happened a couple of months ago. So in parts of this video with Katy Perry, you're going to see some drone fireworks, and it's the first place winner. So here we go into our closing song. And there is a countdown at the end if you want to do the countdown with us. Pretend it's New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next week. Somebody just had a question. Just email me, okay? And I'll get the answer. Sandra Champlain at gmail.com. Love you all. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Carly. Thank you to our friends in spirit. And we'll see you all next year. Bye.